Yeah, sorry, Logan, but this is high school graduating. This is going to be relevant to you.
Yeah, we are gonna talk about today what high school graduation requirements are. Um, okay, good. Well, we'll be telling you exactly what you need to graduate. But on this first page, I have what do MEWA counselors do? Some of you may not actually be 100% sure what our role is, but we are here for academic support. So if you are struggling in your classes and you need some help, we won't necessarily help you with your actual assignments, but we can definitely help and get you to the right people to find you help and support you through your schooling. We're here for emotional support. If you're having any trouble outside of school and you need someone to talk to, we are available. Eric Strid is our other counselor, and then we also have Jeff Cochran. He's our early college counselor, and then Amy Swank, who is a new counselor this year, and she's working with ninth graders. So she's actually probably working with a lot of you also. The other things we do is help plan for classes. With scheduling, we will be forecasting. Eric and I will be sending out a note pretty soon after spring break to start setting up appointments so you can come in and forecast for school in the fall for your classes. We'll get that out in the announcements and probably an email. So look for that, but that won't be until after spring break. And then we help keep track of credits. So when we talk about graduation requirements, me and Eric are working with you guys to make sure you're getting the classes that you need. So we're monitoring that, making sure you're getting into the right classes when you do schedule for your classes. How to reach us best is email. Email is actually the fastest because we're always on our computers just like your teachers are. So email is the fastest way, but you can always call us also. Yeah, go ahead. We're getting interrupted for a minute. Just 1 second.
Samantha, you're being searched for right now.
Yeah, they were looking to see where Samantha was. Anyway, so there's my email and my phone number. And then if I didn't include Eric email, which I should have. So if Eric's your counselor, you can easily find his email if you just type in his name in the Gmail chat or in the Gmail. How do I go to the next?
You just click on the slide.
Okay. So what I decided to do is do a true or false quiz after each thing. I've got a bunch of questions here that are true, false questions, and these are on graduation requirements. So, and then at the end we will review everything and I'll go over everything. So we can move forward to the first one. And are they just writing them in the chat?
Yeah. It took you a minute to remember what grade you're in, Paige. Yep. I'm so sorry for getting off topic, but you look like Mia Kirshner from one of my favorite shows.
Is that me or Miss Dinsmore? Or
yeah, you. They see me every day, so. Yeah, no one tells me I look like a beautiful actress. Thanks, guys.
Well, thank you. I actually don't really know who she is, so I'm going to have to look her up.
So Sammy, that's a great question. Is emailing like when you send a message in Canvas? No. So that's going to be different, right? I don't think you can email your counselors through Canvas. So you actually would want to go, I'll show you really quickly how to do this.
I do think we can get emails, but when we write back through the Gmail. So you'll want to go into your actual Gmail account.
So you would go to your Gmail, you would type in, you can just type in Deni, right? And her email comes up. Or if your counselor is Eric, you could type in Eric, right? And then Eric comes up. And then you just write whatever you want to write. Canvas inbox is more for teachers. Okay. I don't know what I did with the chat. There's a lot to manage. This is actually good that you get to see all the technology managing that we do here. Okay.
Anyway, and thanks for the compliment. I will go up, I will go look her up, but
Okay,
right.
so you guys are going to type true or false in the chat. You could just do a T or F if you're feeling lazy. Jonathan, looking at you.
Oops. Okay, I just skipped to the next one, so you might have already seen the answer. Government is a required class at MIWA. True or false? Oh, I've gotten a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it looks like some falses, some trues.
Yeah, I got a couple trues, and then it looks like a couple falses also. I don't want to skip to the next one, Bay.
Oh, yeah.
How do I like?
Yep. So.
Oh, and what was that? There was a. You know me too well. I don't know what that is.
Jonathan, because I told him he can write just a T or F because he doesn't like writing, full elaborate sentences. He's getting there though. Okay, so we got a good mixture.
So. Okay, so the answer was true. An Oregon diploma, so this is not just MIWA, requires 3 years of social studies. But at MIWA, what we have to offer for our 3 credits for social studies is world history, A and B, which is 1 credit, U.S. history, A and B, which is 1 credit, and then government is a half a credit, and economics is a half a credit. So yes, it is true. At MIWA, you have to take government to be able to graduate.
Type a 1 in the chat if you like social studies.
So
if you're a junior, will you take government or economics if you're already taking U.S. history?
Yeah, so typically how it goes at MIWA is that 10th grader, and it sometimes gets out of order because it depends on what school you come from, because every school has different requirements. But at MIWA, usually 10th graders start with world history, juniors do U.S. history, and then senior year you will do your government and economics.
Okay.
You
have to click on the actual slide.
You can still graduate even if you haven't taken Algebra 1. True or false?
Oh, I'm seeing a lot of falses.
A couple of trues.
You guys are just hopeful that you don't have to take Algebra 1. I see that, Logan. You're like, oh, maybe I won't have to take it.
Okay, I'm going to have you do the clicking. Okay, so the answer was false. To graduate with a standard Oregon diploma, you must have 3 years of math. And the math has to be, oh, I wrote 3 years of math twice. That's what's throwing me off. It has to be 3 years of math, and it has to be Algebra 1 and above. Now, some 9th graders come in to high school already have taken Algebra 1 high school math. And if that's the case, you would start with geometry, but you'd still have to have 3 years, and you'd have to get to at least Algebra 2. So yeah, I see one, Joelle, you said I did Algebra 1 in middle school, so I just answered that. So you probably started with geometry as a freshman, and you have to have 3 years of math, and that has to be above Algebra 1 and above. So most students as a freshman come in and start with Algebra 1, and then they take 3 years of math to meet the requirement. And classes like pre-algebra or ALEC math don't actually count for math, they count for an elective. But as it says on the bottom here, some students are on a modified diploma, and these, so if you have a modified diploma, your requirements will be a little different, and we would discuss that individually.
We got some personal questions here. Gio says, will I take math next year if I already did 3 years and I am on Algebra 2 this semester?
So if you're already in Algebra 2 and you've taken 3 years of math, it's actually up to you if you want to take another math. If you are college bound, like if you are looking to get into a 4-year university after you graduate, then I would highly recommend taking another year of math. But you don't have to. If that's not your goal, you've already met the 3 years. Once you're done with this school year, then you don't have to. So that'll be up to you, and you will work with your counselor on that.
And Joelle says, okay, so do we need a certain amount of classes? Like, can I just take geometry and algebra 2 and then I'll be fine? Or do I have to take 3 years?
No, you have to have 3 years of math. So if you started with geometry, then you have to take geometry, algebra 2, and then pre-calculus.
3 years of my life gone. Hey, pre-cal is my favorite math, honestly. It's really fun. Okay.
All right.
Any more math questions? Cool. I know, guys, math, it's hated, but it's useful.
I never liked math. I still don't like math. A freshman who finishes the year with 6 credits are on track. True or false? Okay, I see all trues. And the answer is true. You guys all knew that one. Most freshmen take 6 classes a semester. MIWA freshmen take 7. So each class is worth 0.5 credits. So 1 full credit at the end of the year. So at the end of the school year for taking 6 classes would equal 6 credits, and you would be on track. Students who take 7 classes as a freshman will earn 7 credits at the end of the year. But if you fail a class, you will earn 0 credits. So if you have Fs on your transcript, you are behind in credits and probably not on track.
Yeah, so just being in the class is not enough, right? You have to actually pass the class to get the credit.
Okay, any questions on that? What are transcripts? Transcripts is your academic record. So when you pass a semester, when you finish a semester of high school, you'll have a document called a transcript, which lists all your final grades and how many credits you have. This document is something that colleges will look at to determine if you're eligible. Jobs sometimes look at this. This is a very important document. So when you take your finals and you're working through your semester, you want to make sure your final grades are really good, because that's what goes on your transcript. And if you want to see your transcript, so when you start as a freshman at the beginning of the year, you won't have a transcript yet because you haven't actually finished any high school classes. But second semester, you do have a whole semester now on your transcript. So if you would like to see your transcript, please talk to your counselor and we can show it to you.
Also, guys, college transcripts, you still have to show, right? Like every time that I've applied for a new teaching job, I've had to provide my transcripts to show that I actually did go to college. Let's see. Gio's typing her question. Okay. Joelle says, I have 10 classes at MIWA and others at Barlow. You're going to have a lot of credits, Joelle. You should probably meet with your counselor, I would say, one-on-one, and they can tell you exactly, right?
Yeah, and that's a lot of classes. I think Eric is probably your counselor, so I don't know why you're in that many, but that seems like...
She finished some already. That's
why.
You
finished some already? Okay. So
final grades.
Talk to Eric about your credits.
Final grades, progress. Yeah, so progress reports are not on your transcript, right? That's just telling you after 6 weeks and 12 weeks where you are. So if you have an F on your progress report, it's a sign to you that you need to get your stuff organized so that you can pass. Just final grades go on the transcript. So I didn't pass physical science my freshman year. Does that affect my chances to graduate if I'm not going to a 4-year university after high school? Well, you will have a science requirement. That's coming up later, right?
So I can't remember if I put that in the slideshow, but yes, you still need to meet the graduation requirements for science. So you will need to make that up. But you can, again, talk to your counselor about that, and he can explain it further. Make sure you talk to him, because that's an important question.
And guys, remember, summer school is your friend, right? Summer school is not, at least at MIWA, it's not this miserable, you have to go and sit and blah, blah, blah. It's online, right? So you could be traveling, you could be doing whatever, and you could still be getting caught up on credits, getting ahead in credits.
Am I your counselor? I don't, it just says Geo on
Giovanna.
There. Oh, okay, sorry. It just said Geo, so I wasn't sure. Well, feel free to make an appointment with me anytime, and I can explain this with you and show you your actual transcript. At the end of this true-false quiz, I am going to go over all of the subjects, and that will include science. So hopefully I will answer even more of your question about science when I get to that point. But I want to get through a couple more true-false before I answer that all.
And Bella says, can we take summer school at MIWA? You certainly can. We offer every class that we already offer.
All the core classes.
Mm-hmm.
We don't offer electives usually during summer school. All right, true, false. Spanish or any other foreign language, I don't know what that says, is not required for an Oregon diploma.
I see mostly falses and a couple trues. And Joelle saying they changed it.
Okay, so this one is actually true. A lot of you said false, but this one, is actually true, but I'm going to explain this to you. So to graduate with an Oregon diploma, it is kind of a trick question. To graduate with an Oregon diploma, the test counted. I'll cover that in a minute. You do not need to take a foreign language. You just need to take other fine arts classes to meet the fine art requirement. So you need 3 credits of fine arts to graduate with an Oregon diploma. But if you're interested in attending a 4-year university after you graduate, you need 2 years of the same foreign language. So if you are not sure, or you think you might be going to college, you will want to take 2 years of a foreign language. And at MIWA, we have Spanish. We also have another option, which is called the FLATS test, which does count towards 2 years of a foreign language. That is going to be offered at the beginning of May. I'm going to be sending out announcements about that. We send out an email. So please look for that if you're interested in taking it. The FLATS test, you can get 2 credits towards your foreign language credit, which will count towards the fine arts, and it will also count towards college if you are interested. So the fine arts classes is anything that's related to the arts or anything career related. So keyboarding, food safety, healthy cooking, any of our art classes, Spanish, any of those count towards fine art. It's
theater?
The intro to theater. So if you have, you can look at our website. Our course catalog lists all of our fine arts. What if we have taken 3 semesters worth of French, but then transferred? So if you've taken 3 semesters, that's 1.5 credits of French. You would need another half credit of French to meet that 2 years if you are considering going to college. We can talk more about that. Who's Sammy?
That's Samantha, who was just in here.
Oh, yeah. So Samantha, yeah, we can talk more about that individually if later. So make an appointment. We can discuss. The FLATS test is for students who actually speak another language also, because yes, you do. It's testing reading skills and speaking skills and understanding, because there's a listening part of the test and there's a reading part of the test. So it would only be for students that actually speak more than one language.
Do you have to write on the test?
It's all on the computer. It's multiple choice, and then there's a reading and listening section.
Okay, so if you can't write the language, but you can read it and speak it and understand it, then you might be able to take it. Yeah, but you can also study for that, right? If you're like close to being there.
Well, you can, it's not going to hurt you to take it. You know, if you don't pass it, it won't affect you. You don't get a bad grade on your transcript if you don't pass it. It only goes on your transcript if you pass. So you are welcome to try.
Well, even if you fail though, Gio, no one will know except you, right? So then you might as well take it because you could get 2 credits if you pass it. And if you don't pass it, then you could take it again, right? Or
I believe if you don't pass it, you can take it again, but you can only take it once and pass it once. Yeah. So I will send out a note when it's time. It's not time to sign up yet because it's not until May 9th. But you will actually have to come on campus and sign up because parents have to sign the form. Okay, moving on to the next. It's 25 credits is required to graduate. True or false? Okay, yep. If you all said false, you're correct, but so it's 24 credits to graduate from MIWA, but some of the surrounding schools, maybe some of the schools that you came from before you came to MIWA, do require 25 credits. So it gets a little confusing. Our school requires 24 and an Oregon diploma is 24. But some other schools require more credits, 25. So yeah, from MIWA, 24. So you were all right. You must pass 4 years of language arts to graduate. True or false?
This is also known as English, guys. For those of you who are like, what class is language arts? It's English.
Yeah,
a lot of trues.
I think I saw all trues, and let's see. Why isn't it coming out?
Just click. There you go.
That's true. You have to have 4 credits of English to graduate, and which equals to 4 years. So remember, each class, each semester is worth a half a credit, 0.5. And so you need, typically high school is 4 years, and so 4 credits is about 4 years of English. You can get credit for English and creative writing and film as literature, so you can earn credit in other classes. So it might not take you 4 years to earn all your English credits, depending on your plan. A D is passing. True or false?
Oh, there's a little question in there.
Gio said, where can I check to see how many credits I have? It's on your transcript, so you will want to ask your counselor. So you want to talk to me.
So send her an email and set up an appointment. I like this, Jonathan. You said it is passing, and you know because you had all D's last semester. Okay.
A D is passing. That is true.
But I see, is it a trick question?
It's kind of a trick question. So a D is passing for a high school diploma, and you will get credit for the course. But if you want to go to a 4-year university, a D is not accepted. So if you are planning on going to college, a D is considered failing. So you may get high school credit and be able to graduate with a D, graduate from high school, but you will not be able to go to university. So if that's a goal, then you need to aim for C's and higher, and preferably A's and B's.
You thought C minus? Well, C minus is passing, but D is technically passing too.
Yeah, D is passing for a high school diploma. So the only time you would not want a D on your transcript is if you're planning on going to a 4-year university, and that's not a community college. I'm talking about a university.
Right. So if you do want to go to university and you have a lot of D's, maybe your route will be community college first, then to university.
If you got a D in something and you want to go to a four-year university, then you will need to make up that class. So you will need to retake the class and try to improve your grade. And we can talk about that when we meet too next time. If you have a ton of D's on your transcript, then it would probably be very difficult to make all those up. So we would need to go on a case-by-case basis and look and see what it says. All right, so here is a snapshot of the requirements. Okay, you want to go to Mount Hood, junior and senior year. So you want to do the early college program.
So Jillian, we're actually going to have another virtual session where we talk exclusively about that program, okay? Because that's a lot to explain. But make sure you're looking for announcements about it, because when stuff's emailed out, there's going to be like a parent night, there's going to be an info session. You need to be attending those things so that you can find out what you need to do.
Okay. So on the bottom of your transcript, it looks like this. Now, I didn't put a picture of a whole transcript up here. This is just the summary that's on the transcript. So this is a senior who only has 0.5 credits left. So they're almost done. So I just put this up here to show you though. As you can see, the subject area, where you can see it says on the left-hand side, it says at the top, elective, the fine arts, health, English, math, PE, science, and social studies. On the right-hand side of there, it says the required credits. So as you can see, for electives, there's 6, you need to have 6 credits of electives. The fine art is 3 credits that you need. Health is 1 credit. Language arts, English is 4 credits. Math is 3 credits. PE is 1 credit. Science is 3 credits. So going back to that science question, you have to have 3 credits of science, which equals to about 3 years. And then social studies is 3 credits.
Which it's called social science on there, but it means social studies.
Social studies, yeah. And then, as you can see, to the right of that, there's a section that says completed. So this student has completed actually over what she needs, because you can see in the total on the required is 24. This student has completed 25 credits, but she still needed a half a credit of social studies. So even though she has over the amount needed to graduate, she hasn't completed social studies, which is a graduation requirement. So she has to finish that to be able to get her diploma. And then underneath, there's other graduation requirements. That's the personalized learning. Personalized learning includes the career-related learning experiences. And when you get to be a senior, you're going to take a class called Senior Seminar, which meets this requirement. And then the essential skills, reading, writing, and math. That's when you take your Smarter Balance test. Those are graduation requirements. Now, if you do not pass Smarter Balance, then you're stuck senior year doing work samples. And this particular student still needs a math work sample. She cannot graduate, without that personalized learning, senior seminar, and that essential skills math she still needs. Senior seminar is kind of like mentor seminar, but there's just some other requirements that we do in there. There's a job shadow, there's resume making. So there's some similarities, but there's also some other things. All right, let's see what else. I can't remember what else we had on here. Okay, so next time I present, which will be in about a month, what kind of things would you like to know from our counselors? So do you want to know, there's some examples here, college entrance requirements, stress management, study skills, career exploration. So what would you like to see? And if those are just some examples, so if there's something that you want to know about, please let us know.
And yeah, I know Mika is a big one. So that is definitely something I'm going to try to set up for you guys to learn about.
Yeah, I won't actually talk about early college. We have another counselor here that works with early college. So he's the best person to discuss that. So that's not something I will talk about because I don't have all of the information that you need to know. So, and same with Cal. Cal is the school across the way here. A lot of students do attend Cal part-time and they do their other classes here. We don't actually sign you up for Cal. Cal is the Center for Advanced Learning, and it's the building that's right next door. You actually have to apply to Cal, and they determine if they're going to accept you. We don't really do any of that, but you definitely want to talk to us about it if you're interested.
I see stress management, college stuff. Ooh, overseas studies and scholarships for colleges. Okay. Career exploration. Okay, so for sure, we're definitely going to have a Mika presentation by our counselor who's the Mika expert, right? And we're also going to have Counselor Eric come and do a mental health presentation. So those two things are definitely going to happen, but then it seems like a lot of people are interested in, additionally to that, scholarships, college entrance requirements, stress management, especially for people who work and do school. Yeah, which a lot of you guys who are in 9th grade, that might not be something that you're doing yet. But I bet a lot of you do want to work eventually while you're in school, right? So that's probably a good thing to plan and know about. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, is there any other questions regarding the credits that we talked about today, or transcripts or anything? Or any other thoughts? We made it in a half an hour.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, well, I see a pretty silent chat, so I'm going to assume that we don't have questions. But if you do think of a question, or you have a question, but it's maybe really personal to you, right, then email your counselor. You might not even have to have a meeting. You might be able to just email them a question and, you know, they can answer it, or they'll tell you, or they'll tell you to come in for a meeting, or, you know, they'll get back to you and let you know what to do. But it's good to be thinking about this stuff now, right? You don't want to get to senior year and realize that you can't graduate on time because you didn't take a social studies, right? You know, so it's good to be checking on this stuff, or because you failed social studies and you thought it was okay, right? So just make sure that you're meeting with your counselors when you forecast, you're asking these questions, you're looking at what requirements you're meeting and what requirements you want to be meeting to graduate and then to do whatever you want to do after high school. Okay, so then other than that, great participation today, guys, with all the true falsing. I will see you guys next week where we're going to have our first AMA. Make sure that you go check out the virtual session page. My guest speaker, Annalicia, she actually wrote a whole paragraph about what she does in her job. So you can read it in advance and come up with some questions that you want to ask her about what she does. And she's pretty interesting. Like, she can tell from people's breath what kind of teeth disease they have because she's been doing dental assisting so long. Does an AMA mean against medical advice? No, it means ask me anything. Yeah, so it's going to be ask me anything stuff. So she knows a lot about teeth, and she's also had some other jobs. So she's going to be a really interesting guest for us to hear from. Otherwise, I will see you guys next week. And thank you so much, Deni, for joining us today.
You're welcome.
I definitely learned stuff. Oh, thanks, Paige. Okay, bye. Yeah, nice bye from Paige there. Yeah, so I'll see you guys next week at 2:00. And don't forget, progress reports are coming up this Friday, so get your classes in order.
All right, everybody. Thanks for participating. I'll see you next time. Rest in peace.
To him because of his progress reports. When will they be sent out? I think they're sent out that Monday or Tuesday of next week, so you'll probably be getting it right before spring break, which is why if your parents are one of those people that will ground you due to your grades, you might want to adjust. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.